Eggs, fish, nuts. Just hearing those words makes many parents nervous. Your heart starts racing, your mind jumps straight to, what if my baby has an allergy? Yep, that fear is real. But don't worry, we got you. Hi, this is Pediatrics Now YouTube channel. Let's talk about how to introduce eggs, fish, and nuts safely. You have to introduce these foods at some point. You heard that right. In fact, delaying allergens can increase the risk of allergy. So today, let's talk calmly, clearly, without fear. First, one very important rule. Only introduce allergens when your baby is healthy. No fever, no cold, no stomach issues. And always do it during the day. Never at night, never when you're rushed. You want time to observe, to stay calm, to stay present. Let's start with eggs. Eggs are one of the best first allergens to introduce, but not raw, not runny. Eggs must be fully cooked. Scrambled eggs, cooked well, or hard-boiled eggs, mashed. Soft, easy to mash between your fingers. Start small, very small. A pea-sized amount is enough for the first time. Then you wait. Watch your baby. Most reactions, if they happen, appear within 2 hours. Redness around the mouth, a few spots where food touched the skin, that can be normal. Trouble breathing, swelling of lips or eyes, vomiting repeatedly, that's not normal. That needs medical help. But here's something important. Most babies tolerate eggs just fine. Now let's talk about fish. Fish scares parents a lot. But fish is rich in omega-3 fats, amazing for brain development. Start with low-mercury fish. Salmon, cod, haddock. Never fried, never salty. Steam it, bake it, cook it until it flakes easily. Then shred it, mash it, mix it with familiar foods. Again, start small and repeat. Repetition matters more than the first bite. Now the scariest one for most parents. Nuts. Whole nuts? Absolutely not. That's a choking hazard. Nut butter is the safest way. Thin peanut butter with warm water or breast milk. Make it smooth, drippy, easy to swallow. Offer a small amount on a spoon, or mix it into soft foods like oatmeal or yogurt. Yep, that's simple. Nuts don't need to be avoided. They need to be prepared correctly. One more thing parents often do wrong. They introduce too many allergens at once. Don't do that. One new allergen at a time. Wait 2 to 3 days before introducing another. That way, if there's a reaction, you know exactly what caused it. Here's something powerful. Early exposure builds tolerance. Once your baby tolerates an allergen, keep it in rotation, weekly, regularly. Removing it for months can increase sensitivity again. If you're feeling scared, that's okay. Fear means you care, but knowledge replaces fear. Eggs, fish, nuts, they're not enemies. When introduced the right way, they become powerful nutrition tools. But I know what you're thinking. What if my baby has eczema? What if a sibling has a severe allergy? If your baby has severe eczema, talk to your pediatrician first. The skin and the gut are connected. Sometimes a baby with a compromised skin barrier is at a higher risk. They might want to do a blood test or a skin prick test to be safe. But for most babies, the kitchen is the best place to start. Let's talk about the top 9. It's not just eggs, fish, and nuts. We also have dairy, soy, wheat, shellfish, sesame, and tree nuts. It feels like a lot, like a checklist that never ends. You might feel like you're constantly on high alert, but take a breath. You don't have to rush through all 9 in a week. 1 new allergen per week is a great pace. This gives your baby's immune system time to meet the food. By the time your baby is 1, they can be enjoying all of them. Let's look at dairy. Cow's milk is a common allergen. But wait, don't give your baby a glass of milk yet. No cow's milk as a drink until after 12 months. Their kidneys aren't ready for that high protein load, and it can interfere with iron absorption. But yogurt? Cheese? Cooked into muffins? That is how you introduce the allergen. Creamy, full-fat Greek yogurt is a perfect first dairy exposure. Just a spoonful. Mix it with some mashed banana or a little avocado if you want. Watch, wait, repeat. Now, let's address the skin contact myth. Sometimes parents think if a baby gets a rash where the food touched their face, it's a life-threatening allergy. Often, that's just contact dermatitis. Acidic foods like tomatoes or citrus, or even just the friction of the food and saliva, can turn a baby's sensitive skin red. It doesn't always mean the immune system is attacking the food. A true systemic allergic reaction usually involves more than just a red spot on the chin. Look for hives on the stomach or back. Look for swelling of the lips or tongue. Listen for a barky cough or any wheezing. If you see those, stop the food. Call your doctor immediately. If they can't breathe or seem unusually lethargic, that is an emergency. Call 911. I know that sounds scary, but statistically, most reactions in babies are mild and manageable. And the earlier you start, the lower the risk of those scary reactions becomes. You are actually building a shield around them. Let's talk about sesame. It's the newest major allergen on the list. You find it in hummus, tahini, and many seeded breads. Don't give them a whole pita bread yet. Thin out a little hummus with warm water. Let them try a tiny bit off your finger or a spoon. It's packed with calcium and healthy fats. See? You're not just avoiding an allergy, you're building a brain. You're building a body. Now, what about the ones we haven't covered? Wheat and soy. They are in almost everything. For wheat, don't just give them a piece of white bread. Try a tiny bit of wheat-based infant cereal, or a very soft, small piece of whole grain toast. Wheat provides the B vitamins they need for energy. For soy, silken tofu is your best friend. It's soft, it's easy to swallow, and it's a protein powerhouse. Mash a tiny cube and let them explore that texture. Then there are tree nuts. Remember, peanut is a legume, not a tree nut. Tree nuts include almonds, walnuts, and cashews. The rules are the same. No whole nuts, ever. Always thin out the nut butters, one at a time. What happens if you miss a few weeks? Life happens. Vacations happen. Teething happens and they refuse to eat. If you stop giving the food for a month, don't panic. The immune system has a memory, but it needs reminders. Just restart like it's the first time. A small amount, during the day, when they are healthy and happy. The goal is consistent inclusion. By age 1, the goal is for these foods to be part of your family's normal meals. Not a test anymore, just food. Peanut butter on toast, baked salmon for dinner, scrambled eggs for breakfast. This isn't just about safety, it's about freedom. Freedom for your child to go to birthday parties without a special lunchbox, to eat at school or a friend's house without fear, to explore the world of flavor and culture. It's a journey, from that first pea-sized bite to a full family meal. It takes patience. It takes a few messy shirts and a lot of deep breaths. You're doing an incredible job. Every spoonful is an act of love. Every careful observation is protection. You are giving them a gift that lasts a lifetime. You're not doing this alone. Save this video. Hey, do consider subscribing to the channel for more important stuff, and press the bell icon so you never miss any videos like these. Watch more videos here.